Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Come on, won't you say it loud? Ayo, we gon' turn this out. Tom Clark's Main Event. Drop kick now and back.
Hey, what's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. Tom Clark back here with you again, yet again. Let me get the right screen up. Too bright over here. On another Friday. What's up, kids? Happy Friday to you one and all. Thanks for joining us here. As everyone's trying to start their weekend, you got to tune in to hang out at the Main Event because this is a place to be. It's where all the cool kids hang out. If you're not here, you know where. That's where. That's where. I got two guests on deck. We're going to get them on screen very shortly, but just want to conduct some business first. Again, welcome back to the show. My name's Tom. If you've never watched the show before, we've been going live and going strong, live and live in color, as they say, since 2014. So for 11 years this year. What do you think about that, huh? We're not the longest running show around, but we're the longest running show around, hosted by a guy that looks like this, named Tom Clark. I got to follow that up because a lot of guys look like this, don't they? Sometimes they're good dudes, sometimes they're not, sometimes they're dude bros. I'm none of that. Well, I'm the good guy, but I'm not any of the rest of it. I kind of got lost. Anyway, welcome back to the show. We're glad you're tuning in. Let's get the thing on the screen here. You know what I mean by the thing, don't you? There we go. And let's get the ticker ticking. If you're not watching this show live, buddy, are you missing out? I submit that you are. You're totally missing out. So yeah, if you're listening to this after the fact, we do appreciate your business. Thanks for subscribing on the various podcast platforms. Thank you so much for that. And we'll remind you again here today, if you will, kids, please smash the like button if you're watching this live and share this to your feed. If you are listening to it, watching it after the fact, do the same thing for me. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? By the way, check out boinkstudios.com, BOINK, boinkstudios.com. All the podcasts that we have going on are on that website, as well as on the YouTube. Links are on the site, the actual YouTube Boink Studios. You can find all the shows with a brand new one coming your way very soon. Shh, don't tell nobody. Well, you can tell people, but I'm not going to tell you the details just yet. But I can tell you who can, but they're not gonna, because everybody's trying to keep it hush hush. My two guests here today are going to be involved in that brand new show. Let's put them on the stage right now. From the Untitled Wrestling Podcast, we have Big Tasty Ben Jackson, and also from Dammit, Vacant, and Two Nations Entertained, a Taylor's podcast, Joe Higgens. What's up, gentlemen? How are both of you guys today?
So when you said, let's get the thing on the screen, I thought bring me in because I do look like a sad pile of rocks.
I look like a loose pile of goo with no bones. So
an amorphous blob that's trying to invade your DNA.
Well, how do I fit in all these descriptions? Am I like put together, or I'm
okay? Russell, obviously, man.
You could be the hand from the Addams Family. That's a thing.
I can do that. I can do that all day. I watched Addams Family growing up, but I preferred the Munsters. If I'm being honest.
Controversial choice.
Is it though?
There's been two good Addams Family films. There's only been no good Munsters films.
Well, okay, fine.
Oh, Joe coming in hot with the Munster slander.
Yeah, and there's no effort to do anything.
To be fair, the Munsters theme is better.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's a proper shredder, yeah.
It's so good. Now I don't want to get thrown off the air, so I better quit humming it. But by the way, guys, again, thanks for joining. I know this is kind of late notice for both of y'all, but I appreciate you very much.
You're saying that like we've got anything better to do on a Friday night?
Oh, there you go.
I smell of meat.
So Liverpool is insane at the moment. We've got, in case you don't know, the boss is in town. Bruce Springsteen is here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he played a show on Wednesday, and he's playing another show tomorrow that I'm going to, and I'm very excited.
Oh, very cool, very cool. I've never seen him live.
He's playing at Anfield as well, so I get to see one of the greatest performers of all time in the greatest sports stadium of all time. So, you know.
Very nice, man.
And he's had some not very polite things to say about your president, Tom, in case you're aware.
Well, to be clear, it ain't my president. But yeah, and you know what? We love that, actually. I do, for sure. So I say, Mr. Springsteen, just keep talking.
As I think old Bruce has been bumped down the list of priorities of who to have an argument with at the moment, hasn't he?
It could change at any moment. It could change at any moment.
So like I said, I was saying to you before, guys, I was playing Warhammer last night because I'm a cool guy, And afterwards, I just went on to Twitter. I try not to, just to see, because all my football contact, and I was like, oh, Liverpool signed any football players because the transfer window's open. And I just went on to see some lovely transfer news, and instead I see like the world's two most famous Nazis having a slap fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sure enough.
It's just delightful.
Yeah. Let him just burn each other down. I'm here for that, actually.
It's the equivalent of two drunk men fighting in a pub car park.
Yeah. What more could you ask for?
Both of them going, hold me back, hold me back.
It's the level and political leaning of argument that you could see in Eddie Weatherspoons on a Saturday night in England.
Yep. Yeah.
You notice in those we call them pull aparts in wrestling, kids, but it's like hold me back, and you're like, they're not really holding you back. You're holding yourself back, okay? Because you don't want none of that. Come on. Yeah. Fernando, welcome to the show. First one to the table. Eric Jackson is here. Robbie, good to see you, my friend. JP is here. Sandy in Germany, good to see you, my friend. Sandy, here we go. Sugar Shane is here. Maria watching on the YouTube. Very cool. Sandy in Germany says, I've been here since 2019. I appreciate you very much, man. And thanks as always for sharing. Please, can this El Grande Americano segment? You know what, Steve? Don't know if you've ever watched the show before. We don't do a whole lot of WWE talk here, but that's one of the it's one of the worst. I mean, Steve already knows it's bad, but you know who doesn't know it? That company, apparently. They apparently don't know.
So I saw quite an interesting talking point on the social media the other day, and someone was saying, obviously a lot of people are like sort of outraged about the El Grande Americana thing, and people are saying, well, how can you hate that but have enjoyed El Generico back in the day?
I mean, we're not gonna lend credence to that, are we?
Well, the obvious answer is, well, it's entirely the sort of attitude of the company that's doing the bit. It's like the spirit of the whole thing. It's like like you're billing this dude from the Gulf of America. This is a direct like main line to the Trump administration.
No kidding.
Do you want this sandwich full of broken glass because you once had a delicious sandwich years ago? That's such a dumb comparison. Oh man! And
if you guys notice that anytime that it's something heinous, the way to defend it is by attacking the other thing. It's all, you know what I mean? It's always like, yeah, but how about this? And you're like, can we just focus on the thing that we're upset about first, and then
I've stopped watching WWE because reasons, many reasons. But the last thing I saw was that Grande Americano thing, and I'm like, oh, okay, right.
Terrible.
I mean, another thing in the reason not to watch this tick pile. Yeah,
of course. Shane said, I think WWE is in trouble. TKO is losing money. Who was it? The Good Brothers came out recently and was talking about like it's not WWE anymore; it's TKO. And I'm like, how longtime fans of that company can't see that is beyond me. It is not WWE anymore, and I don't think it's been WWE since Attitude Era, in my opinion. It's not. They just have so many masters to serve and so many people to make happy. And buddy, they're not shy about who they support now. They're just being forthright with it. And I'm like, this isn't pro wrestling. I don't know what this is, but come on, man.
What's the thing? A giraffe is a horse drawn by a committee. That's the thing with it. It doesn't know what it wants to be. It's everything and nothing simultaneously.
It's not there to serve a purpose anymore. It's not there to bring joy. It's there to make money.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all it is. That's wow, interesting. I like that. I like the way you said that. Let's see. We've got Universal on YouTube.
The company.
Apparently, there's the globe. Look at it.
We did hum a bit of the Monsters theme tune. They may be onto us.
There you go.
If Joe's internet just cuts out, then we know why.
Last thing you see is Grandpa Monster creeping up behind me.
Universal, if that is your real name, thank you for watching the show. We appreciate you very much. Yeah. So, well, guys, let's get to it. Again, thanks for coming on. I want to throw this up right off the bat, and we don't, again, like you said, Joe, we don't really cover WWE a whole lot on this show for a lot of different reasons now. But I have to, and I haven't asked either one of you guys what you think. So this is all kids. We didn't rehearse any of this. I don't know how they really feel. But I want to get everybody's take on Ron Killings because, man, the I'll say online backlash for whatever that's worth has been massive. People hating that company for releasing Killings. Joe, let's start with you. What's your thoughts, if you have any, about this?
Those same people not a month ago were like, why is he in a match with Cena? Like, you know, he's a joke wrestler, but now he's been fired. It's all no, and it's the not the bipolar thing of it. It's the dichotomy of we want him, but we don't want him. Like, it's that thing. I mean, you've got to love R-Truth, haven't you? Like,
love him.
He's one of the few wrestlers that genuinely makes me laugh because it's just a clueless idiot man, but he can still go as well. Like, that's the great thing about him. And the fact that they're posting massive record profits and all this, you know, swinging their lead around sort of thing, saying how great they are, and yet they're firing people left, right, and center that aren't, I'm not going to say fitting their demographic or fitting with their vision of where they want to go in the future. But I was like, I mean, R-Truth will land on his feet because I said, if Tony Khan's got any money, he'll just pay him to just wander around in the background of promos, just looking bewildered all the time,
like all the time, yeah.
And then when Mox is like getting very angry at someone, he can just come over and go like do a shield bump with him, or so, you know, just completely throw it all off. But I find it weird that they're getting rid of a lot of people who have been there for a long time, and I know it's a company and they don't owe you a living, but I find that with wrestling there is a certain amount of aftercare that you should be responsible for, because these people are going out there and hurting themselves, you know, for the bottom line. So I find it kind of weirdly disrespectful for someone who has done a lot for them, has been there for a long time, to just be ungraciously sort of off you pop, son. Especially after what they've had him doing in the past couple of weeks. What they should have done was have Cena absolutely kill him to death. Cement Cena as a heel. All right, and because they've just killed the lovable R-Truth, and then that's it, write him off. He just never comes back.
Yeah.
But it's just, he did a match and he's gone. It's bewildering. It feels like it's whichever way the wind's blowing about what they're going to do next. There doesn't appear to be any thought going into it. Or maybe there is. I don't know.
Well, I kind of predicted a couple weeks ago, not kind of, I did predict a couple weeks ago that he was going to destroy Truth because they needed him to do that. And then the match happens and he gets in there and he paused for a moment, looked around as if he didn't know if he should. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, are you heel or not? You know? Yeah.
But isn't his whole shtick supposed to be that he's trying to destroy wrestling by making it the most boring thing possible?
Yeah, something like that.
So, I mean,
if you're doing something bad on purpose, it's still bad.
That's it. That's the thing, isn't it? Like, yeah.
Like, the room is still bad. Like, I don't want to watch The Room ever, but and I know that's kind of the point. But still, you know, you can't just do something awful and say, oh yeah, but the whole point is he's actually deconstructing wrestling by being utterly terrible at it. And it's like, well, no, that's still
bad wrestling.
I'd still rather watch paint dry than watch that.
Yeah, it's still bad. Ben, what do you think about this, man? What's your take on Ron getting released?
First of all, can we just acknowledge the fact that the man's shoot name is Ron Killings, and he hasn't been allowed to use that as a wrestling name?
Right.
To be fair, yeah.
I mean, I know he was. Well, this could come full circle. He was Ron the Truth Killings in TNA, which is, and he could be again, because apparently that's where he might be heading. And someone has. You want to say about, like, I know people have been going off about WWE being in debt and TKO being in trouble. Has someone looked at the fact that they're basically releasing a load of people who are then going to TNA, getting paid by TNA, and then appearing back on WWE television?
There you go.
Yeah.
Is this a tax fiddle?
It feels very corrupt, doesn't it?
A little bit.
It's like, you know that meme,
barbers, like,
that Simpsons meme where, like, Moe's throwing Barney out the pub and then Barney appears behind him and is like,
he's just got a TNA shirt on.
It's like TNA superstar.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's because it'll come out of their budget, or they get paid less for TNA. I'm assuming that's.
I mean, if TKO haven't got R-Truth money, then we should probably start shutting the doors.
I mean, he's been there he was there for 17 years. Is that the number? I think.
Something like that.
17 years.
It's been a long time.
Like, I don't want to see any talents just lose their job. But at the same time, I was kind of thinking, he had a long run and he got paid to not basically do anything like for the longest time. And I'm not saying that you should release, I'm saying you should have used him, right? You should have used him more than you did. But like, I don't know, people getting just going nuts. And I think that's just testament to how much they love him because he's very lovable because he's awesome. But, you know, he's, like you guys said, he's going to be fine. This is a former world heavyweight champion, and everybody tends to forget that bit. But Ron could always go in the ring. He's a very good worker, but that gets covered up by the ha-ha in that company, as a lot of other things do. So you don't really know about it, or you kind of forget, but he'll be fine. Universal, you're
in a world where they're trying to like surgically reconstruct Bill Goldberg for one more match,
right? Yeah,
and yet here's our truth: who can put on like easy 3-star matches with pretty much anybody in the world.
Yes,
and you're cutting him. I mean, I'm not saying it's because of any sort of physical characteristics that either man has, but maybe I don't know.
Didn't Goldberg's knees fall off the other day?
So Goldberg literally said he can't really move.
Yeah.
But he still wants one more match.
But he still wants to have one more match. Because I don't know, because one WrestleMania match wasn't enough, apparently. I don't know.
Chicken wire, duct tape, and popsicle sticks. Put him back.
Can we not just get that like 2-pack hologram of him and just have that?
And the other guy can just sell it. He can just throw himself down and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
What a spear. Oh, my God.
Yeah, we can just use like clips of JR's old commentary from the Attitude Era and splice it together to provide the commentary. And
yeah, but then William Regal will come out and just smash the lasers up or something. It'll be fun
with brass knuckles.
Yes.
Universal on YouTube. You're throwing a lot of facts in here on us about, you know, R-Truth was making $550 and then they offered him $350. I'm just curious what your source is. I'm just curious where you got all this from because I'm genuinely curious about where all that came from. So yeah, if you've got something you want to share, by all means share it. I mean, pay me $550 a year to appear on TV several times here and there, it'll be fine. And again, I'm not dissing Ron at all. I love Ron. By the way, guys, I did see this as well. JP points out that Miz removed everything associated to be on his social media. I mean, that kind of thing happens all the time. And sometimes it leads to, you know, Trinity and Mercedes leaving. So sometimes it leads to things and other times it doesn't lead to anything. Do any of us actually believe that Miz would ever leave that company of his own accord? I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
If there's one person that says lifer, it does feel like.
It feels like him.
But again, they only won the tag titles. What? Like a couple of months back, it feels like.
Yeah. It feels like it. Yeah.
But I don't know. You say lifer, Joe, but you would have said that about the Big Show a few years ago.
I know. I mean, everything's fluid. I get that. But
I mean, I can't see Miz isn't doing a New Japan run. Put it that way.
No.
To put it politely.
No, but like I don't know. It's just the amount of stuff they've made him go out and do for the company. That other people wouldn't have done, or anyone with a soul.
Universal. Hi. I appreciate your take, but I would never. I'm not going to die on the hill of Mike will not be one of the releases. I'm never going to do that because
never
as soon
never.
as never say never, man. I mean, whatever facts that we think that we know, there's facts, and then there's what we think are facts, then there's facts. So sometimes we know, sometimes we don't. That's all I'll say. That's all. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm also not saying you're right. Robbie says that Strowman was recently let go. Rumor is they'll rehire him, put him back in the goat mask, and replace Uncle Howdy as leader of the Wyatt group. I do not see that at all.
Oh my God. I quite liked the Wyatt Six.
I do too.
And then if you stick Braun Strowman in there, I'm like, this is dead. This is like, it was just getting good, and then people got injured and whatnot, and then I'm not watching it anymore. But I know that they're sort of lurking around again.
Yeah, they're back, I think.
But, I mean, the fact that Braun Strowman got fired, tried to control his narrative, said that during COVID, said that people should get proper jobs if they can't wrestle, and then went crying because he got fired, got rehired, has been fired again. I find some delicious kind of irony in that.
And why in the world the guy can't? I mean, look, no disrespect to Braun, but the whole thing, I thought the whole point of this Wyatt Six thing was for Bo to pay tribute to his brother. You don't replace him with Braun Strowman. That seems like a horrible move, right?
Yep. That was the Wyatt family. This is the Wyatt Six. It's two completely separate entities.
Two separate things, yeah.
With a common link, but not, yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I like Bo a lot. I'm glad he's getting an opportunity to do this for his brother. I think it's great. And that company does a lot of weird stuff. I love that gimmick is alive. I love that. Even if the reason is money and whatever, and it's not what I'm thinking it is, I don't care. It's still an opportunity for Bo to pay tribute to Bray, and I think that's great.
Spooky wrestlers are the best wrestlers.
They're fun, man. It's always fun, you know. So speaking of fun, we just had a massive 3.5-day event called Fyter Fest. There was a lot of programming, and we're going to talk about the other thing here in a second for next week. Tasty, let's start with you. What do you think about Fyter Fest overall? Favorite moments? What you got?
So I've got to love it. I haven't seen it because it's 4 hours long, and I was out last night, and I've been like, I'm doing this tonight, and I've just not had. I've been in work like both days. I've not had a chance. I've seen what happened. I've seen the clips. I've seen the highlights. I've seen the big moments. Yeah, I mean, it's cool that like I think it's like the longest like televised wrestling show on like cable television like ever.
Oh wow,
or something like that, because it was like, you know, because it was too. I don't know how it aired on like actual television, but I know on Triller, it was two separate broadcasts, like one after the other, and you had to switch between the two of them or something. I mean, I'm looking. I mean, a couple of things I loved. Let's talk about the big thing first. Was Ty Mello came back after 2.5 years on the sideline.
Really? Well, she did have a baby.
January 2023, she went on maternity leave, yeah.
Yeah.
I know she did. She had that Stardom match about 6 months ago, didn't she? Which was like a sort of comeback.
Yeah. Because there was speculation she could have returned.
But ever since Anna Jay got into this like altercation with Megan and Penelope, it's been, I know Harley sort of stepped in for a bit and helped, and then she got taken out, and it's been like telegraphing quite widely, isn't it? Like, this is built for TJ to come back and have this tag team feud, and if you know, we've now got 3 of the women who were in that women's bloody, oh my god, this is WWE, we're going to call the police on them because it's too horrible death match.
Bleeding, yeah.
So there's a chance down the line that we're going to get, and obviously Megan Bain, just by virtue of having been in GCW and knowing Joey Janela, is presumably at least competent at death matches.
Right.
So,
just by osmosis, yeah.
You stand at enough Mercs tables and get enough blood on you, you're gonna know what you're doing. I'm sure she's great. She's really talented. She'll be fantastic. So hopefully we have another big bloody blow off somewhere down the line to this, and we can all have a lovely time, and some executives and Stamford will have a little cry about it. So
yeah, her and Sammy both kind of fell victim to the we decided we don't like y'all no more kind of thing. And then I don't think AEW help matters any by constantly kind of shoving them in your face. But like, I think it's just beyond temptation for these promoters to say, oh, they don't like it, put it out there. Because they're heels. It'll be great. Well, will it though? I don't know. Like, but yeah, I was glad to see her back. I think she looks great. And I'm like you. I'm anxious to see what she does, man. I'm here for it, honestly.
Like this women's division is dangerously stacked now, and I know one of the big talking points, considering the strength of the AEW women's division currently, has been on this 4-hour block of television programming, the criminally short amount of time that they were given to do anything with it. So hopefully, I mean, one thing I will say about AEW currently is that Tony does seem to be quite clued into what the fans are asking for. His finger seems to be on the pulse. I know there was the thing with, it's a small issue, but Mina Shirakawa's music the other week was awful, and within the space of the match happening live, Tony saw the online feedback and changed it by the end of the match. So I mean, I know there's been a long running sort of battle between fans wanting more women's action on the shows. It's been rumored for a long time that it's a network thing, that TBS or TNT don't want a lot of women's wrestling on the show. because you look at like pay-per-views, Mercedes Moné is having 29-minute matches, so there's obviously the capability is there and the willingness from the booking side is there. Is it a network thing? I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, the ladies' tag match, to your point, had 9 minutes, 9 minutes, 43 seconds. Tekla's debut match, 2 minutes and 30 seconds against Lady Frost, who is, I think, more than earned her stripes.
I think Lady Frost
thrown under the bus there. Yeah,
Lady Frost is one of the most underrated performers.
I agree with that.
Roster. She is phenomenal.
Yeah, she is. She's very good. Yeah, it upsets me that the women get stuff
and yet MJF and the Hurt Syndicate got about 2 hours. It felt like.
Yes.
Which I don't know anyone who was enjoying that at all.
I guess I'm.
The end.
Yeah, I kind of sound like one of those guys that you're not giving it enough time. Maybe I'm not. I just don't understand what we're even doing.
To give? There's nothing to There's nothing to follow through with on it.
One doesn't need the other.
So long and boring.
It would be.
If Tony had his finger on the pulse, he'd be like, everyone hates this. I've not met a single person who was like with the Death Riders. People were like, oh well, okay, it's not great. We'll give it time. I've not met a single person that's gone, well, give MJF and the Hurt Syndicate some time because everyone's just gone, this is boring. It goes on for too long. It's awful.
Yeah.
And
just have him do
the betray, and we can all go on with our lives.
Yeah, I could maybe understand if one kind of needed the other. They don't.
No.
They don't need him. He doesn't need them. It's so weird. It's like two of your best hanging out together when they could be doing something else. I just don't understand.
Yeah,
that.
like what's the point of putting MVP and MJF in the same group when they're two of the best like promo guys you've got in the company? I mean, obviously you want to eventually have them going against each other. Yeah, perfect. That's fantastic. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, is this build like everyone's been saying? Is this building up to? Like, is there going to be a swerve? Is it going to be Cedric Alexander's going to take his spot? Is it going to be I mean, it'd be interesting if we've already done MJF gets betrayed, and that was last year, and it was terrible. So, so let's not do that again because that sucked. Let's just have MJF be a nasty piece of work and have. I think my only thing that would be interesting is if he went to betray MVP, but MVP had like outflanked him basically and had a contingency.
Yeah, you son of a
Yeah.
And he gets Cedric in to come and take out MJF before MJF can take out him. That I mean, but surely, come on, let's get to the fireworks factory here. Let's just push the button.
Yeah.
We didn't need 3 weeks of Bobby Lashley doesn't know what he wants to do.
Yes,
it's a nightmare in the KFC queue if you're behind.
And the night that I complained about this when they signed in the ring with the little hey, let's sign them to the group. During that spotlight, she's going, I don't know. I'm like, y'all are still doing that? I thought we were good. You know what I mean? Like, whatever, man.
The only time I ever want to see a contract signing is when a fight breaks out, which is every contract signing. The one time they have a contract signing and no fighting breaks out.
I will say the one thing about that, I did enjoy the continuity of Smart Mark Sterling still being MJF's lawyer.
Yeah,
that was nice. He still gets work.
He still gets work. They don't do much continuity wise, but at least they still got that going. Yeah, I mean there were some high spots. Tony being out there with Mina was great. Commander, Kevin Knight, and Speedball are awesome.
I'm so glad. Like, so I was really worried that Speedball wouldn't hit in a major company because he's a bit weird as a person and as a wrestler. But my God, he's the fans have taken to him, and I'm so happy.
Yeah, gosh, he's a maniac.
He's a man. He's eccentric too.
So I went to, he was doing a live stream a few days ago, and he was talking. It was like a no holds barred interview. I mean, he was answering questions about like his match with Okada, and I tuned in to see what was going on, and he was singing "Bodies" by Drowning Pool in the voice of a kid's cartoon character.
Very good.
And why not? If anyone was going to do it, I'd say it was going to be Speedball.
Fernando says 4 hours of AW every once in a while is better than 3 hours of SmackDown every single week.
Yep.
I'm with that.
Now, I can't speak to SmackDown because I would never watch it, and I can't speak to this 4 hour block. I mean, but like you say, every now and then, why not? Yeah. I don't think I think what this has told me is I don't want a 3-hour Dynamite. I don't want a 3-hour Collision. I don't want.
No. It's too long. 2 hours is the sweet spot. Because
I love mashed potato. I don't want to eat 5 kilos of mashed potato in one go.
Oh, I don't know.
See, over here, when you say kilo, everybody,
yeah.
You say kilo in this country, everybody thinks cocaine. They don't think weight. You know what I mean?
Just imagine the little bricks that you see in the movies of the cocaine bricks. Imagine 5 of them, but it's mashed potato.
Mashed potatoes, yeah.
Easy. Huh?
You got to dip your finger in it. All right, need some butter, but they're good.
It's pure. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, butter
and salt. Smash.
And, we still got Brody in tag match or in 4-ways and tags because they don't know what to do with Brody. I just don't understand. I think, Joe, you and I said it. Just let him go out there and kill people. What are we doing? Just let him kill people and push him up the ladder and get him a title shot. I don't understand what this is.
So they really had him. Ironically, it was Mox's second title reign, I want to say, if you can remember back that far. It was when he beat Darby in the Royal Rampage, when he choked him over the ropes and then dropped his lifeless body. And then they put him the next week in a match with Mox, and that was when he was on fire. And then I'm not saying someone came back to the company and ruined his booking for 6 months, and then left to go to another company, and didn't lose any matches on the way.
Who was that again? What? Yeah.
I mean, I'm really glad that he's gotten over his back injury that meant he couldn't lie down for 3 seconds.
Man, I'm here for the shade. I like it.
The thing is, the weirdest thing is, I don't want to go off on a tangent. I loved Aleister Black in NXT. I went to Download Music Festival with my girlfriend, and I literally spent the entire first day in the NXT tent because Aleister Black was wrestling every couple of hours, and I watched all of his matches. It was fantastic. I loved him. I bought his t-shirt. Came to AEW. I was so excited, and then it just felt like he didn't want to be there. He was doing it almost begrudgingly.
Yeah. Well, there was and again, these are rumors. Who knows what's real and what's not? But supposedly when the old man left the other company, everybody blew up Triple H's phone and said, and supposedly he was one of them. He wanted to go back as soon as all that happened. And I'm thinking, okay, but we've been through this here on the show more than one time. It's still the same company, if not worse. And
I know. Do you know what the best thing that Tony has done? Has let all those people go.
Yeah, I agree.
Because now we've got a locker room that in AEW that apparently is the morale is really, really high. The pay-per-views, if we want the weekly television, but the pay-per-views are consistently really good. And it's harmonious, and everyone's enjoying themselves, and everyone wants to be there. You've got guys like Swerve, who, what an ambassador. I think we've said this on the show before. What an ambassador for the company Swerve has been over the last. Someone from WWE tried to tap him up to break his contract, and he just went and told Tony, he was like, "These guys are trying to get me to break the law, basically."
That's great. Yeah.
And then what happened to Swerve? He got paid.
Yep,
he did. Yeah, and he should. He's earned it.
He didn't get no R-Truth contract offer.
No. Fernando says Fyter Festival is the Will Ospreay show. And Will is, you don't have to do it right now. And I guess if you want to put that belt on Hangman, you can. But at some point, you're not going to be able to keep Will from being the man. And he kind of feels like the man right now. So, guys, I don't understand the bit about let's just keep him away from that title. I'm not real sure what we're waiting on. What's the long-term idea here? Anybody got a clue?
I kind of like you say, Tom, I kind of like this idea that he's this sort of ever-present threat. Whoever is the champion, they've got this Will Ospreay problem just sat there. At some point, he's going to come for your belt.
You won't know when.
Well, you will, because you'll cut a very Essex.
Yeah, he'll just call you bruv, and then the next minute you're getting your head kicked in.
How does him? So, Tom, you in the Americas, how does Will Ospreay come across as a character? Because, I mean, it's slightly easy. I can't speak for Joe, but it's slightly easier for me to like him as a sort of cheeky British chappy sort of thing.
Yeah, he's a lad that stands outside all bar one in his tight jeans. Yeah.
I mean, I can't speak for everybody, of course, but to me, he's just real. He just doesn't feel produced. He doesn't feel like he's quoting. He doesn't feel like he's playing a character. He just I love Swerve. When I see Swerve, I don't feel like I'm seeing the guy. I feel like I'm seeing the guy with the volume turned way up. But when I see Will, I just feel like that's a guy named Will. And I just don't, you know what I mean? And I think fans are really like when he screws up, he'll tell you, "Oh, screwed that up, sorry," and he'll talk to the crowd during his promos. He lets them get interactive, and I just think he is little by little by little. If you don't like him now, you will like him, in my opinion, because like he's ingratiating himself to them. You know?
Do you reckon it's like? I mean, I don't want to. I'm throwing around some big words here. Is this like another Bryan Danielson sort of like everyman sort of? Not everyman, but like sort of, because he's not an everyman. He's a phenomenally gifted wrestler who also happens to be now incredibly rich. But is this a sort of like that sort of ground level approachability? Like you say that, like one thing that's really unique about him is when he misspeaks in a promo, he doesn't try pretend it didn't happen. He'll acknowledge it and be like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I'm just really excited about this," or I'm dyslexic or whatever, and you'll own his mistakes, and he'll like say, "Yeah, I'm not perfect all the time, and I do make mistakes, and this was wrong, and this was wrong," and that's just really in a world where certain companies try and polish everything and take the rough edges of everything, and they want everything to be as smooth and as produced and as like sort of faux perfect. It's almost nice to have a bit of, oh no, this is just people having a fight in a ring, and sometimes it's really nice to just acknowledge that they are just people.
Yeah, but it adds to the whole thing of like, this is real. That's the thing, is that that's it. Yeah, we all know that it's wrestling, and their job is to make you forget that it isn't real. That's the thing, and I think that with Will being so, and to an extent Hangman as well, because Hangman is like the heart and soul, has been the golden thread throughout all of AEW from its inception. Like those are the two that people are behind, because they're the ones that feel the most real to people for different reasons. And like Hangman is the man you love, and Ospreay is your mate.
Like, and it's no coincidence that their promos building up to their match at Double or Nothing was some of the best promos that I think have ever been done in an AEW ring.
So good. And now Heyman is begrudgingly gonna have his back, because like Heyman's been lied to, like the character has been lied to, been betrayed, been his personal life's been invaded, and like for anybody to come with a peace offering, no. But like Will, over the course of several weeks, has gained his trust. So he begrudgingly bumped fists with him, begrudgingly helped him. So we've always talked about Heyman's path to redemption and getting back on track. I mean, I think everybody's kind of pegged him to win the championship from John. It feels like the right move. But, again, I never say never. I never flat out say this will happen and that's it, period. But like, Ben, like you said, man, Will's just right there whenever they're ready. Like I'm glad that it's pretty obvious they are going to go to him eventually, and they don't necessarily have to do it right now. And if they got long-term stuff to do, it's okay.
He's a young guy. He's got plenty of time.
He's got plenty of time.
If we get All In next year in England, or we get an actual pay-per-view in England and not Forbidden Door, then that's when they'll put it on Ospreay.
I just worry because, like, what if
there's no rush?
What if an injury happens and then he's completely out, and like the timing will be off? You know what I mean? Of course, I guess that's the case with anything they want to do, right?
You've always got to plan for those eventualities, though, haven't you? That's
true.
That's the thing with it, and you've got to be able to pivot and work on.
If that happens, you just wake up Orange Cassidy, and out he goes.
And Orange still not on TV.
I mean, he was hurt, man, wasn't he? He was hurt pretty bad.
Yes.
To be fair, he wrestled like every week for about 2 years. It felt like.
Like, that promo we cut when he was like,
I'm so tired.
Every time I win, this bag gets a little bit heavier. Apparently, like, he couldn't like lift his arms over his head by the end of that run.
Yeah.
Like,
what?
He did an interview and he was like, no lie, like Trent had to put his luggage in the overhead compartments for him on flights because he couldn't like lift it up. It's like there was like that's why we talked about it on our podcast. Like Orange versus Mox was like my storyline of the year that year when it was for the IC title. Because it was just here's Orange Cassidy literally wrestling himself to death because he's too like proud to admit defeat. And I'm like, it was incredible. Yeah, I'll not go back to that because I'll cry again.
I'd like for them to show him coming back by they just find him in a corner of the arena backstage and he just wakes up. You know what I mean? He's like,
just like back in the day, like early AEW, when like the Inner Circle were fighting someone, and they just opened a bathroom, and Orange Cassidy just sat there on the toilet with his fully clothed, with his pants up and everything, just like chilling. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to come out of that goo from Demolition Man. You know, where they defrost him.
Dalton Castle just came out of a UFO, so
I mean, anything's possible. Yeah, I'm very excited for Dalton.
I don't understand why you've never done anything with this guy since the moment you bought Ring of Honor. Dalton could work on any Dynamite, any Collision, on any pay-per-view. He is great.
And he comes out, and you hear the pop in that arena, man.
Yeah. Yes.
On like live TV Dynamite, he pops a Dynamite crowd like hard.
Great. I
love
it.
It's everything I love about wrestling.
Yeah.
The pomp and circumstance of it.
You basically want, what if Freddie Mercury was a wrestler, because here's Dalton Castle.
Yeah, but somehow like more camp as well.
More camp. Yeah, for sure.
Turned up just to like 11. Yeah. It's brilliant. And he's got the boys with him, and it's ludicrous and brilliant, and no. Yeah, we won't talk about that. But you know, it's that beautiful silliness of it all. But he can also really, really go.
He can.
All you've done is feed him to Chris Jericho.
Yeah. Yeah, don't get me started on that Ring of Honor brand. We'll be here all day. I don't understand why. Yeah, well, just to run down a couple more things here. Wayne is back in the States. Christian Cage, put over the fact that he worked all those dates. Wayne looked really good, the best of Super Juniors. I thought he turned in some great performances. When he won his first 4 or something, I'm like, oh my God. But then he lost like 3, because Gato's notorious for, and supposedly it's there's a booking committee now, but we assume Gato's still a part of it. But Gato's been kind of notorious for, I'll put you on a winning streak and then you're going to lose 3 in a row in the tournament. So but I thought he had a really, really strong showing. And we also had FTR, who for some reason still has Stoke. Now they're just calling him Stokely. Hathaway is mismatched. I don't know why he's with them. It feels as though there was nothing for him to do. There's stuff about him backstage that maybe isn't awesome. And he's, he cuts a promo, and Ben, you'll see it, but he looks in the camera and is like, by the way, refined, blah, 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 whatever he says. And then the Dax just takes the mic and keeps talking. I'm like, your manager just capped it off. You could have just, took it home, but no, you had to keep talking. So it's like, they don't need a manager. They don't need him.
They never do. No.
So the one thing, I really like Stokely as a on-screen presence. I think he's very entertaining. One thing, I saw someone say this a while back, and it's always stuck with me. He always gets himself over, not necessarily the person that he's managing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Statlander's a prime example of that, because that went nowhere, didn't it?
It always feels like no matter who he works with, he never gets them anywhere. But he always say, "Oh, Stoke was really funny." Stokely was, and he's hilarious. Like, he really is. You put him in 2012 Chikara, and I'm going to be having the best time of my life.
The manager should be seen when he needs to be seen. He should not distract, and he should not take away. The featured attraction is the match. So when all you see is the manager, and he's cutting a better promo than anybody in the ring, or he's getting more mic time than anybody in the ring, that's a problem. And I don't care who the manager is, honestly. It doesn't make a difference to me.
Well, the whole point of the manager is that if your wrestler is no good at promos, stick someone who can talk for him, let them do the wrestling.
Like Wardlow needs Stoke.
Yeah, Wardlow needs a Stoke. Yeah, it's
FTR don't, and as to go on to FTR, like their heel persona they're in now is like the freshest they've been in like 5 years.
Yeah. Since they got there.
It's such a breath of fresh air. It's so nice to not have them cut the same. I don't want to disparage Dax Harwood, but the My Family promo.
Oh, My Little Girl every week with the My Little Girl stuff.
It's so nice of them to just come out and be like, "Yeah, we hate all of you because you hate us, and that's fine."
Yeah,
it's like, "Yeah, this is awesome." Yeah,
Well, again,
I like to hate those guys. This is great.
But that's what I'm saying. They don't need Stoke for that.
No. Universal says Dalton is too over the top. I completely disagree with that.
I think he could have more glitter.
If he came out with a live peacock, then we're talking.
Yeah,
riding an ostrich that they've painted to look like a peacock.
I mean, I just don't understand how, again, I with all the other stuff they have going on, and Dalton, if anything, holds back compared to what he was doing in the original Ring of Honor. But like, I don't get it. Again, why talents don't end up on TV, I just don't understand. I don't get it. Maria says, didn't Bob the Brain put himself over? But I think you have to do it to varying degrees. There's degrees of that. And look, your talent will get you over. You don't need to work very hard. Like, and by the way, even though we all know it's nonsense and, hogwash, sorry for cursing, but it's hogwash that the manager's tag team won. So he's not really the manager. It's all TV. And we know that. What? But buddy, maybe not necessarily you guys, but like, doesn't everybody's opinion of a manager kind of go up when the team wins? Like, it's a very subtle, oh, well, then he's Don Callis. I don't like him, but his guys, but he's not really managing anything. You know what I mean?
But at least, when you see Don Callis on commentary, he's like, you see him like calling audibles, and you see him like telling Takeshita what to do. Yeah. And even though I know he's not influencing the match because it's predetermined, but
of course, yeah,
it gives the impression that he's adding tactical acumen to his
puppeteering them.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's picking the guys who are in the tag teams for the tag team matches, and he's putting the people where they perform best. He's like a head coach. He's putting people in their positions to succeed. Yeah, and love him or hate him, Don Callis is probably the most effective manager that AEW has at the moment in terms of what he does on screen.
Man, before he came to AEW, him on commentary in Japan was great. I loved him on commentary in Japan. It was so good. You know what I mean? Like,
well, he does the Maple Leaf Pro commentary, doesn't he? With
oh, does he?
Yeah, and he's really good on that.
I've got to check it out. I've got to check it out because I've not checked out any of the Maple Leaf Pro stuff. Well, guys, next week we have a Summer Blockbuster, and also real quick, coming out of Fyter Fest, we finally got Kazuchika Okada booked for Kenny Omega, which we all knew was going to happen. Booked for All In.
So I didn't see it. Was that the big announcement from Tony Khan that they teased?
I think so.
Because I mean, again, it was they set this up, didn't they, about 6 months ago when Kenny and Okada were stood in the ring and they looked at the All In sign, and it was like, oh, well, obviously they're going to do that at All In, and then they just hoped we forgot about that and made it look like a big surprise. But yeah, it's going to absolutely slap. It's it's the best pairing of wrestlers in the modern era.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a great match. I can't wait for it to happen. I think it's just going to be off the charts. This Summer Blockbuster thing, and again, it's the old adage of they're giving it away for free on TV, and I'm like, but they've got all this talent, and they don't run a pay-per-view every, maybe as often as they could. Like, I mean, you got to give people something to do, and I mean, I think big televised events are fine. I'm not losing too much sleep over this. I like watching wrestling.
Tom, if I'm walking down the street and someone gives me a free burger, I don't say, I don't want that, because what about the restaurant?
Right.
I eat the free burger.
I like that.
They've always done like TV specials anyway. Winter is coming, and all of that sort of stuff. And also, like, near enough once a week, once a fortnight, you'll get a pay-per-view worthy match on an AEW broadcast anyway.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to just put on mediocre matches and then put on something good at a pay-per-view, like another company.
Hang on, Universal is saying, I thought
it's winner take all.
Yeah, I thought it was very specific. Was to unify the titles.
Yeah.
Because both of those titles are kind of only half a title, so let's put them together to make one complete title.
Yeah. There you go. It's like Lego pieces. Yeah.
Or a jigsaw. Yeah. But yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. That was always the plan, I thought. That's why, like, Okada should have dropped it, but
yeah. I mean, I'm anxious to see what's going to happen because again, these two guys not faced off before in AEW. But in terms of Summer Blockbuster, we've got Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford versus Tom Miller and Anna Jay, Tekla versus Queen Aminata, Mystico.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, if they give that some time and don't Lady Froster.
Just give it like at least 8 minutes, please, Tony. Please, for me, as a treat.
I mean, yeah, if she steamrolls Aminata, I'm not a big fan of that.
And they've done all that work of building those two women up, and then to just have a creepy Spider Woman come in and kill them.
Yeah,
which I'm fine with, but also I'm not.
Like Thecla's awesome, and we can all agree on that. And
I don't like the spider crawl thing. I don't care for that at all. It scares me.
Mystico versus to be decided. I assume this will be MJF. Or no, wait, he's in the 6-man because he was talking trash about Mystico. So maybe that'll happen later, I assume. Thomas Tony Storm versus Julia Hart. Kyle Fletcher versus Anthony Bowens. The entire Hurt Syndicate versus Speedball Commander and Kevin Knight. And Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland. That's a big card already. Big card already. So, yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
It's crazy that the last time they did Ospreay versus Swerve was for the title headlining a pay-per-view, and the next time they do it will probably be for the title headlining a pay-per-view, and here we get it in the middle with no titles on the line, just on TV, which will be lovely.
Yeah,
just free.
Crazy. Yeah, again, I'm not going to sit here and say I've never been the guy that has. I'm not going to say I've never said don't give it away for free on TV. I have said that before, but I do think there are circumstances, and again, they've got all this talent. They want to put on a good show, and whether you want to say it's for ratings or whatever, I don't care. Like, I think the fans win when you get shows this big, especially if you don't got to pay for it.
Similarly, Tom, if you put this match, Will Ospreay versus Swerve, it'll be 12, 15-minute match on TV.
Mm-hmm.
If you put that headline to pay-per-view, it'll go 30 minutes easy.
Oh, of course.
So it's going to be a totally different match.
That's a good point. Yeah, it will be a totally different match.
This is like the demo. This is the this is the free sample that you get, and then if you want to see the full shebang, you've got to.
The power is capped at level 20 at this point.
Yeah. This is the World of Warcraft free trial where you get to level 20.
Yeah.
I like
If you want to go to Northrend, you've got to buy the pay-per-view. There you go. There's a deep cut
pay for the full one. Yeah.
Well, kids, we are almost at the hour mark. Can you believe that? And I never did this. Everybody take a moment, refresh yourselves, and watch this.
Boink Studios is the home of Tom Clark's Main Event, Tom Clark's 6M podcast, and Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. Visit the site today for links to every podcast platform, social media, special announcements, and a lot more. Check out the site and bookmark today, boinkstudios.com.
BoinkStudios.com, kids, if you will, go bookmark the site and check it out. You'll find links to all the podcasts on that website, including links to this gentleman's, both these guys here, their social media, and to their respective shows, and of course links to the Boink Studios on YouTube. So please go check that out. I would very much appreciate it. Let's talk about, because I didn't really have anything else major to really go over today, but real quick, Los Ingobernables de Japón, in case anybody out there missed it, Tetsuya Naito put up online. Just flat out said that he does not own the LIJ name and cannot use it. And of course, this is translated from Japanese, so you take it with a grain of salt on how it translates directly. But he seems a little salty about the fact that he can't now use it because he brought that name to New Japan. They didn't give it to him. No one created it. He brought it to them. But through a series of events, I'm assuming that legally he cannot use it. That's what he says. So he and Bushi are going to use Los Tranquilos de Japón. So, Joe, you said before we went live here today that you think they'll probably go on a tour of some kind. I mean,
it sounds like they're gonna. Well, a name like that, it sounds like because they're obviously not hanging about in Japan, are they?
So they wouldn't need to put de Japón in there if they were staying in Japan.
I just wonder if it would be more of a matter of they're representing who they are and where they're from, maybe? So I don't know.
LIJ was formed when Naito went on excursion to AAA, wasn't it?
Yes.
Was it AAA?
AAA, I think. Sounds right. Was it AAA? Was it CMLL, was it?
CMLL.
Maybe it was. I always loved that story. But that is a fascinating story.
Sorry, it was CMLL. And before that, he was in TNA. Remember that? Remember No Limit?
Oh, my God, that's right. Yeah.
Naito and Takahashi working, jerking the curtain in TNA.
Faye's here. What's up, Faye?
Yo, what a Faye. Just in time for some TNFA. What an actual time to be alive.
TNFA, I love it.
We're going to talk about No Limit. That's coming to the next podcast, right? Don't you worry
You
about
mentioned it, and then she appears.
I'm telling you, she knew it. She knew it was happening.
We've already done a card as Samoa Joe's Green Hornet sidekick. That was. Oh.
What's up, Will? Yeah, what do you guys think about the Naito situation? Because, like, I still say whatever the guy wanted, pay the man. But, of course, they chose not to do that. I mean, I'm still confused as to why you let that guy walk out your door. Well, I just don't understand.
It's the biggest shockwave to go to that company since Okada left, really, isn't it?
I agree. Yeah.
But they're hemorrhaging people.
Well, it's not in the people. It feels like they're hemorrhaging the soul of the company.
Yeah.
It does.
Because a company is the people who comprise it. It's not. Yeah. New Japan isn't a building or a ring or ring ropes.
No. I know. Yeah.
It's the people that lace them up and go in the ring and perform. And like without how many, it's the ship of Theseus, isn't it? How many New Japan originals do you have to lose before you're no longer New Japan?
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I don't understand why you just let him walk out. In the chat, they're talking about. Talk backstage. The Elite want to bring back the Elite show.
Being the
Elite. Yeah.
Yeah. And then someone said Baker versus Monet. Brother, I'd be shocked.
I saw that live and it sucked.
We've already had it and it was not great.
There's stuff behind the scenes with Baker versus Monet, and I do not believe we're going to see that again. And people talk about, well, Baker should just go to WWE, brother. I weirder things have happened. I would be shocked if WWE signed her, and I will leave it at that. Okay, it's just there's too much stuff there. Too much stuff. Not to get distracted, but like the whole Naito bit, I just don't understand it. The guy destroyed his body for you for a long time, and I think in terms of who gets the biggest pop in that company, buddy, this guy drugged the belt on the floor, threw it down, spit on it, spit on wrestlers, spit on referees, spit on everybody. And when they started cheering him, he could do no wrong. And like that, you just let him walk. Like, dude, they chanted for him. It was like the Danielson thing, like what they would talk about him when he wasn't there. Like, I don't know. Naito was just absolutely massive.
And it's so weird. Like, why does Tanahashi ascend the throne and become like the guy, and like Naito gets nothing?
Yeah, nothing.
But again, this is my point earlier as well. The man sacrificed his body. Like, he's held together with spit at this point.
Yeah, so he's going to go and, I mean, he's not going to struggle for bookings, but is he going to go and wrestle in bingo halls across Europe? Like, where's his executive position? Where's his, place on the booking committee? Where's his, ambassadorial
on the Council of Elrond. Yeah, it's give the man something, because he is broken.
Yeah.
And as much as I would want to go and watch a match with him in it, I know it's not going to be great.
Yeah.
Because he's knacked. He's absolutely, if it was an animal, you'd send it to go and live on a nice farm.
Well, it's like with Tanahashi when he came out at the pay-per-view and like what was it? Excalibur said he was walking powerfully to the ring, and it looked like
that's as fast as he can walk.
It looked like he was trying to stop his knees from exploding in two different directions.
Yeah,
trust me, I know. There's someone with knee pain. I know.
And when you'd watch Naito try to hit Destino, you're just waiting to see if he can get that turn, and sometimes he couldn't get that turn, and you're like, oh, dude, like he just, both knees taped up like Hunter used to have all the time. Like I mean, I love the guy. I think he and Bushi together would make a great little tour and put him in tag matches, and every company that would sign them, and I assume every company would have the guys in.
I said, if you put them in tag matches, they can cover each other,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it'd be awesome if they do get to do a little like tour of Europe and America, and like loads of people who might never have got to see Naito get to see Naito. That'd be pretty sick.
Fair.
Yeah, like a big.
As long as he's not, as long as he's not killing himself, you know.
That's my concern with it, is that he's like, I've got to get one last payday.
Just come out and do the 3 spots that everyone wants you to do, and like don't hurt yourself. Basically.
Yeah. To be fair. Yeah, I'll pay for that.
There's young guys on every indie card that'll kill themselves for 50 quid. You know, let them do that.
and keep him and Bushi away from each other, okay? Because they just bring out the best and worst in each other. You know what I mean?
Under no circumstances, let them wrestle each other. They're always wrestling.
Never again.
Let them just beat up on some local guys who are safe hands. You know, everyone's got a pair of safe hands. Just put them in with them.
I need a local.
Someone from St. Anne's, and I was like, that's highly specific.
From Lytham St. Anne's, yeah.
Yeah.
Only wrestlers from Lytham St. Anne's.
Joe, I need your extremely talented shtick of, I need a local guy that's going to work Tetsuya Naito tonight. What's his name? Go.
Long Tom Allenson Key. I got nothing, mate.
Man, I'm so disappointed.
You can't spring it on me like that. Like,
just get me big, beefy lads from Lancashire who can catch wrestle.
This guy will rattle off the craziest names you've ever heard, and then when I put him on the spot, he can't do it.
Pancake Johnson. Yeah.
Well,
Ramsdale McLongbottom.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just one guy called Lard.
Lard. Here's Lard.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's Lard.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's Lard. That's something you never hear ever.
Yeah. And his face, his mask is a picture of George Michael from the Faith video, but he's poked the eyes out. And certain times during the match, he presses the button, and Lard like just cascades out of the eye sockets.
Now I just want a T-shirt that says, "Oh my God, it's Lord." Now that's all I want.
I think that I'm fairly sure there is one from Viz comic that is just Lard. It's good for you if that's all right.
That's wonderful. The floor is open, kids. Let's take some comments here. Chad Too Bad says, rumor is Wardlow is clear to return. Yeah. Tony is waiting for the right time. Is there ever a right time in AEW?
So what I heard about this was that he was cleared to return at the start of the year, but he's got a TV gig.
He's doing some TV stuff. Yeah.
So
nice.
If they'd have brought him back when he was clear, he would have been back for like a month, and then he would have been gone again. So they said, well, instead of doing that, like chopping and changing, let's just wait until you've got your TV thing out the way, and like bring him back in.
He was so over when he turned on MJF. He was so over.
Yeah, but then we just got 6 months of him powerbombing people.
That was the dumbest thing. Like, the dude could do a swanton bomb. Let him do a swanton bomb.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, I'd like it because it's a gimmick and people like counting.
Sure.
But,
yeah.
But when it was every week, it was him just squashing, Beanie Boy 7. It was just like, I don't care about this. It's the thing is what they do with people that are over. They don't know what to do with them. They just have them squash locals week in, week out, and I don't care.
Yeah,
it's boring.
Maria says,
they tried it with Hobbs, didn't they? And Hobbs just went, "No, I'm going to go away, eat all the beef in the world, and come back and start killing folk."
I'm glad that Hobbs has something to do, but here's what I'm going to tell you: had Hook not got hurt, Hobbs wouldn't be in this spot, and Hobbs may not even be on TV. Because they can't seem to figure out what they want to do with Hobbs. And I know he's maybe not been the happiest guy around because it's like, hi, remember me? Do something with me, please. And they just, like I said, I think you look at him now versus when the year he first came in, night and day. He's gotten so much better. Oh, yeah. And I love seeing the guy on TV. I think he's a legitimate world title contender, but look, you gotta commit. And if you're not going to commit,
they did a real good job in Anarchy in the Arena. They made him look like an absolute murderer.
They did.
So build on that, please.
Yeah.
You've got. Right. Hear me out. If him and Samoa Joe tag team for the rest of Joe's career, let's just let them kill people.
Yeah.
There's no better if Joe's going out. There's no one better for him to pass the torch to than Powerhouse Hobbs, and there's no one better for Hobbs to learn from in the last year or so of that person's career than Samoa Joe.
I agree.
100%.
Maria's asking, should Mercedes versus Tony main event?
Not if Hangman's winning the title.
Not if Hangman's winning the title. That's good. I didn't know how to answer, but that's. I am still old school to certain degrees, and I very much am old school in that my world title is my last match. But I don't want the women to never be able to main event because I'm pro women main eventing.
That's also a world title.
Yeah, but if Hangman beats Moxley and then you send the women's match out after that,
it's going to be dead.
You've got complaints.
It's going to be.
You're going to have valid complaints that you sent that match out to die.
Yeah. I said the best thing to do is put it on before that and have them go out and go kill it so they can't follow it.
Yeah.
Co-main event, literally co-main events, women's title match, men's title match.
Yeah, I agree. Robbie, your comment's huge. I don't want to cover up Joe too much, but I'm going to read it for you. I'm confused about something. With AEW getting CMLL and WWE getting AAA, am I wrong that those promotions were doing okay without needing Tony and WWE taking control? They should have just stayed as the legendary companies they were. I like Lucha Wrestling, WWE, and AEW, but isn't it taking good companies away from those in Mexico who liked it as is? Wasn't AAA financially going to close anyway? Weren't they in trouble? Isn't that what happened?
According to Conan, yeah, but then Conan says a lot of things. So
they're spending a lot of money on gear, yeah.
Well,
and Spider-Man costumes.
The thing to take away is that AEW haven't got CMLL. They have a working relationship with CMLL, which is like they loan each other.
It's a different thing.
Yeah. I think what the big issue has been, I think just over the last sort of decade or so, is that American wrestling companies have been able to pay enormous contracts, and Japanese and Mexican wrestlers have been left behind a bit in terms of monetary compensation. I think that's why you've seen, like 10 years ago, you would never have imagined Okada coming to an American company.
No.
But now we're in a position where New Japan can't pay him what he's worth. So he has to go and get it from somewhere else. And the best case scenario here is that I'm not trying to fanboy too much, but if you go to AEW and Tony Khan pays you, he will still let you wrestle in Japan, and he will still let you go and do other things. So it's almost like a way for those wrestlers to make their money, but still be able to do what they like.
They want to do. I think Mercedes has just won a belt in Austria today.
Literally an hour ago, Mercedes Moné turned up in Vienna at a promotion and won a world title.
Yeah.
Wow. Belt collector.
Yeah.
Collecting those belts.
Well, like I said, Nick Wayne's just been in New Japan. Like this. There's been people all over the place.
Billy Starks has just been tweeting about wanting to go on a Joshi excursion as well, which, yes, please.
Oh, yes, please, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Just Billy Starks gets a head kicked off repeatedly. I don't want to do this anymore.
I think I changed my mind. Yeah.
More matches.
I'm not for monopoly. I don't want to see a monopoly, and I don't like WWE buying anybody. Not AAA, not TNA.
That's what concerns me. With AEW, it seems to be always like a talent exchange, whereas WWE seems to be like a talent vacuum.
Yeah.
And no one else can have them.
Casey, I agree with you that at a certain point, they can no longer afford to pay Okada what he's worth. You're not wrong. However, it sure does feel like that AEW was around at the right place at the right time when all New Japan's top guys wanted to go or needed to go. And like, you can't fault Tony for signing them, but there's moments when it feels like, man, New Japan's in this spot because all their top guys are working for Tony. Like,
I mean, I don't think Tony was at Wrestle Kingdom slipping them like brown envelopes full of cash. But at the same time, if Will Ospreay comes to you and says, "Can I wrestle for your company, please?" and you say no, that's business malpractice.
Just Tony handing out exquisite business cards. Look at that; it's embossed.
It's embossed. Fernando says,
"It's." More money for less work and not getting dropped on your neck constantly.
100%, and that's a good thing.
And I'm never going to bash anyone for going and getting paid, especially wrestlers who have a very, very finite career. Yeah. Whether even if that means going to WWE, and I don't begrudge the Lucha Brothers for going to WWE and making bank because get the bag, lads. You've got like 4 years left.
Yeah,
that's it.
You're good. I was trying to answer this question before Universal did, and I couldn't do it. Who makes more money, Superman or Fantastic Four? I would say, look, you are entitled to your opinion, but brother, you don't know that. I mean, whatever, man, if that's how you want to roll. In my opinion, Superman, because he's more internationally known. Like,
yeah, but he's just a reporter.
He's just a reporter.
Yeah. I mean, Superman doesn't get paid. He doesn't rescue you off a bridge and then hand you an invoice.
Oh, you mean no. He's talking. No, I get it. Very cheeky.
Oh, so the films.
About cheeky. Yes, the films. Are you messing with me?
I genuinely thought you meant the actual character.
You were thinking Luke Cage like Hero for Hire.
I was like, Reed Richards has got patents on so much stuff.
So what I'll say to you, Tom, is I think that the ensemble cast of Fantastic Four will have more appeal, will have more draw.
Interesting.
Also,
as I sit here now, I couldn't tell you who's playing Superman in that new film.
David Cornsweet.
I don't know who that is. You could have made that
No one
personal. That could be one of Joe's made-up wrestlers.
That's fair. No one does, but it looks so good. And James Gunn is awesome.
How many Superman films have you seen?
But they're not going to stop. They'll never stop. The Superman movies are going to continue long after we're gone.
But why?
Because it's you know why? Because it's the IP. That's like saying there'll never be another Batman.
Superman's rubbish.
But they're never going to stop. That's like saying you'll never see Sherlock Holmes again.
I think Fantastic Four is a more intriguing film.
Yeah.
I think it's
ensemble films.
It's coming at a really good time. The Marvel universe is a little bit hot right now after Thunderbolts.
Yeah. I love Thunderbolts.
I think if this was a year ago, I think Fantastic Four would be dead cold.
Yeah.
But I think MCU is kind of cooking at the moment. It's kind of like Thunderbolts brought a lot of the boomers back, a lot of the Gen 1 guys like us, the Avengers, the Iron Mans, I feel
Did you just
energized.
refer to me as a boomer?
In the Marvel,
no, he said
throwing hands.
in the Marvel terms, if you were queuing up in 2008 to watch Marvel films at the cinema, you're a old ass boomer like us.
Man, that makes me sad.
A lot of I sort of checked out a bit after Infinity War. I felt like we'd climbed the mountain and we were done. And then Marvel decided to make that a lot easier by making a load of really average films.
Yeah.
But it feels like they kind of were spinning plates and they didn't really know what they were doing. They didn't really have direction. But it feels like now everything's like I was saying. Like me and Jay have got. Sorry, this isn't 6M, but me and Jay have got this theory that, like, especially now at the end of Thunderbolts, you saw the Fantastic Four ship come from another dimension. I think Galactus chews their entire planet up, and they have to do a runner.
I agree. Yeah.
And that's going to be so cool to see. I love me a bit of Empire Strikes Back. Get me the downer ending where they lose and they run away.
Yeah.
And and then they have to go and warn 616 that it's coming for them.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's what I'm definitely with, because I'm like, Reed is smart enough to know if he is getting into another universe, into a multiverse. He knows, because of course he knows he's Reed Richards, so he's coming here for a reason. They didn't just show up. Yeah, I think Galactus is going to destroy the world.
And I can't wait to see that. It's going to be.
I welcome it. We've had enough. We've lived too long.
Deep down, we all hate the Jetsons.
I was always a Flintstones guy. I was never a Jetsons guy. I'm just saying. Chad's asking about Juice. Has anybody heard anything about Juice Robinson?
Apparently he's pretty much there. Yeah,
he's cleared, isn't he? I think he's cleared. They're just waiting to slot him back in again.
Are they waiting for Jay to come back now, or because it's like they're getting into a sort of situation where one of them they both can't be fit at the same time for some reason. And
opposite poles of a magnet, like they can never touch. Yeah.
Meanwhile, the ass boys just sat on the step crying, waiting for the dads to come back. It's like,
where are the ass boys?
So they came back, didn't they? They came back and got murdered by the Herd Syndicate, and that was the last time we saw them.
Oh, that's. But I said, just throw Juice out. Like, just have him come out and just do rabid Juice stuff.
He's great. I love Juice Robinson, man.
Yeah.
So Tom, you don't know this. A couple of years ago, we had a big wrestling convention in the Northwest. Or was it when AEW were in? So something happened. There was wrestlers in the UK for some reason, and Toni Storm, when she moved from Australia to the UK to train, she moved to Liverpool. Because that's where her nan lives, where her grandma lives, and she trained Dean Allmark.
Dean Allmark,
yeah, who's like a local legend, but he's a Butland superstar, to put it. That's a reference only Joe will understand.
Everyone's seen Dean Allmark wrestling somewhere.
Yeah. So she moved in with her nan in like the Wirral, which is like just outside of Liverpool, and so her and Juice Robinson went to see some of her family in a place called Greasby.
Which sounds as nice as you think it does.
and a fan saw them, so there's a picture of them in like a council estate with a fan just getting a picture in the street.
That's hilarious.
And like Juice and Tony just chilling in like the weirdest part of the world.
I love Juice, man.
But yeah, Juice, come back soon, man. We miss you. We love you.
Yeah. Again, I guess want him to come back. Just bring that hip pairing with Daddy Magic.
Bring Cardblade back if you need to until Jay's ready.
Yeah, Universal says Juice is not cleared, but will be in a month. How do you know this? How do you know he'll be cleared in a month? I legit want to know how you know.
He's
this.
throwing a lot of stuff out with no
He's throwing
evidence.
a lot of
to
stuff
back it
out,
up.
but we're not sourcing any of it. If you think he will be,
I thought he was still. I know he was backstage, and I just assumed that he was near enough cleared. So
yeah,
I may have misspoke.
The word is he's like sort of there or thereabouts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, that's just like what SRS has reported and sort of people like that.
Well, there you go.
I'll cite my sources.
There you go. Thank you, Tasty.
Yeah,
my source is my girlfriend who subscribes to Fightful Select and tells me what he posts.
Yeah, I think Sean does a fairly good job over there.
It's like Jay. Jay makes. Jay's not here, so we can badmouth him a little bit. Jay makes a lot of bold predictions, and then only highlights the ones that he gets right.
Jay does make a lot of bold predictions.
History is written by the victors, mate.
Yeah. So Joe and I crushed it on our Double or Nothing preview. We destroyed it.
I don't think we did we?
Yeah, because we
went opposites, didn't we? Yeah.
We did. So we figured it out.
If we'd have put that on a bookie, each way bet.
It was awesome. Yeah. Well, kids, we are an hour and some change now. So we're going to let these gentlemen begin their weekend. So we need to form a search party to go find Ray, because Ray all day was not here today. So we need to find out if Ray's all right and get the hounds to sniff him out and make sure everything's all right. So in the meantime, guys, before we get out of here, tell everybody where they can find you on the internets. What you got, Joe?
I do Dammit Vacant once a week, which is a wrestling podcast, but it's not, because it's mostly just nonsense. I also do Hallmark of Greatness, which is it was a review thing about Hallmark films, and it's now morphed into this weird thing about reality television that has got away from me, and I can't kill it. It's too powerful.
I was going to ask you if the show was still going, man.
Yeah, we took a bit of time away. I was away in Scotland last week, weren't I? So
there you go. Yeah.
But yeah, we're doing Castaway 2000, which was, I think, the first sort of reality show in Britain, anyway, where they put 36 people on a remote Scottish island and told them to fend for themselves, and then gave them loads of money to buy like booze and tobacco off the locals. It quickly falls apart. It's wild.
Shocking. There's a shocker. It falls apart.
Oh, the one last week, they trapped a deer, and it was.
Joe, are you describing colonialism?
Kind of, yeah. But it's on one of the Scottish. I think it's the next Scottish island from where they tested all the anthrax during the war, and I think some of it may have washed over or something. But yeah.
Some of it got into like the local fish population or something like that.
Yeah, but we've done like other Hallmark adjacent films, like the ones that the actors either begin or end their careers in. And they're quite fun, but yeah, we've just fallen into like TV stuff.
Are you talking about when actors like sort of bottom out of the Hallmark films and they can't even get into them anymore?
Yeah, or they just need a quick payday. We did one. There was a one with the Miz in it, where he was a bounty hunter. I think at home with my family at Christmas. They're not great long titles, but yeah, the Miz is in it. And
it's like when Bruce Willis did like 500 films in a year to like make a load of money for his kids, wasn't
it? Kind of. Well, that's all Hallmark films. Is the turnaround on them is about 3 weeks filming.
Yeah.
Total. Yeah. A friend of mine's gone to live in Canada where they filmed them, and he just said like you can't walk around the town because there's just people with cameras being whimsical in front of stuff constantly, and it. Yeah,
going to get a coffee and like Lindsay Lohan's there filming a movie, and it's like, all right.
No, she's Netflix.
Yeah, do you see that one she did like where she was in Ireland or something? It was.
We've covered that as well. That is a trip. That one.
Yeah, Sarah was watching it over Christmas, and I like walked. I think I've been drinking, and I walked in, and it was just like it was like Grandpa Simpson. I just walked in, and like, nope,
yeah.
just walked back out again.
We always do the Hallmark Christmas movies in my house. We do.
Oh
but
no, I love them.
But we don't do the rest of them because they'll do like a Valentine's Day and like here's the Mother's Day Hallmark movie. I'm like, I'm not watching that. I don't want to see that crap,
Mother's Day, Thanksgiving. They've started doing some Halloween ones that are not scary. They're more sort of cozy. I don't even say titillating because they're not. Like
they're scary, but not like you think, right?
Lacey Chabert is their number one at the moment.
Yes, she is
the most famous one.
Yeah. Tasty, what about you? Where can they find you and your show?
Oh, I mean, Untitled Wrestling Podcast, Untitled Rest Pod. We're on Blue Sky because that's where all the Nazis aren't.
Yes.
We're on YouTube. We do stuff sometimes. We do podcasts where you get your podcast on Untitled Wrestling Pod. Join our Discord. Tom's in it, but he doesn't post because he's scared of all the weird crap me and Jay post all the time.
True.
Yeah, just talk about wrestling. Be nice. Life's too short. Don't hate
Right.
it.
Right.
If you don't like it, don't watch it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
just Daddy T's going a little philosophical with you all before we leave. There are a finite number of wrestling shows you're going to watch in the remainder of your life. Make them ones you enjoy.
Yep.
That's why I don't get wrapped up in the shows too long. I don't care. Like,
Yeah,
I love wrestling. I don't.
It's entertainment. They're not Pokemon cards. You're not got to collect them all. I've got to watch every wrestling match that's ever been.
But I have
televised.
to watch it and then tell people how much I hated watching it. Otherwise, how would they know that I didn't like it?
And then I have to
Think
get mad.
about it.
I have
See,
to get
also
mad.
Doctor Who, Star Wars, Star Trek, anything.
And then I have to get mad at the people that like those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you not know how bad it is? Because I didn't like it.
Right.
Idiot.
Yeah.
No. That was a joke, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Watch what you want. Watch what you enjoy. Again,
Watch
like I
what
said,
makes you happy.
we're not here for a very long time. So this is getting very depressing, hasn't it? This has got very Andor. Yeah.
Fill your life with joy.
Yeah.
Because no one else is going to do it for you. You got to
Fill
do
it
it
with
yourself.
whimsy and pranks. Watch Dalton Castle paint.
And if
Watch
it
Dalton
all
Castle do anything.
totally falls apart, you can just watch reruns of Peep Show on Channel 4 on demand.
Yep. Or
That'll always-
Stafflet's Flats.
Because that'll always be there for you.
Oh,
Well-
I started watching I Think You Should Leave, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Are you a big fan? Because it's either you'll love it or you'll hate it.
We went through, we only got through like the first 4 maybe.
It goes
And
both ways.
And eventually my wife's going, yeah, I don't really care about this.
Again, my missus hates
I
it.
like it.
Actively
See,
hates it.
I got my 67-year-old mum loves it.
Really?
My mum wet herself watching Coffin Flop. Like
Yep.
and again, it's just naked bodies falling out of busted wood. But she, absolutely cackling so she couldn't breathe. And I had to stop it because I didn't
Wow.
want her to die. It only gets better. And
Good.
watch out for later on in season 3. There's bonus wrestlers.
If
Oh,
anyone's
nice.
if anyone's still here and me and Joe haven't totally derailed the ending of this podcast, please go and watch it. I think you should leave. It's really fun.
Yes,
And
it's-
every episode's like 15 minutes long, so it's not like
But they're just some of them longer than others, but just bizarre, weird sketches.
And I'd say it's like an 85% hit rate.
It's a really high hit rate for a sketch
Mm.
show. Yeah.
And you don't know what derailing is. You haven't seen me and Jay and Joe on the Two Nations show get distracted. It is
Yeah.
insane.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We managed to fill an hour and 25 minutes talking about literally nothing.
Literally nothing.
Are you aware of podcasts as a concept?
We brought up some AEW shows that I haven't seen, and then we talked around them.
Yeah. Yeah. Ben's like, I don't know what happened, but I'll talk about it. Yeah.
I got opinions.
Yeah. Like you said,
I'm
that's
white, I'm
podcast.
male. I've got things to say.
Well, guys, thanks as always. I appreciate you very much. Don't go anywhere. Guys, that was Big Tasty and Joe Higgens. We thank them very much for hanging out with us. And we appreciate everybody watching the show here today. As you guys know, we are usually on Fridays. And, it's an awkward day because everyone's trying to start the weekend. I totally get it. However, we do want to thank everybody for watching live and for subscribing to the show on the various platforms and for visiting boinkstudios.com. Kids, remember when you go to the Boink Studios YouTube, you can check out both the video, and audio versions of this show on that channel. You will also find audio and video versions of Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast, and Tom Clark's 6M podcast, which is almost all audio, and that's a pop culture podcast. There is a new show in the works, and we'll tell you more as we get there, but it is on the way. It will hit soon. All right, let's put it that way. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. Another reason to stay alive. As if the Superman and Fantastic Four movies weren't enough reason to stay alive, we got a new podcast coming your way. Another reason to stay healthy. So yeah, we appreciate your business very much, kids. Again, thanks everybody for watching here today. I appreciate you very much. Everybody, do me a favor. Have a great weekend, okay? And if nothing happens, we will see you back here yet again next week. And I had to find my spot. That's all I got for you, kids. Again, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time, folks. And do me a favor. Keep your heads up out there. Don't let the world around you kind of drag you down. And if you live in this country, you know what I'm talking about. So do all you can. Quit hating people. Let people be who they are. I'm going to stop ranting. I got things on my mind right now. So, we'll let that go. Again, go enjoy some pro wrestling this weekend, kids, if you can. We appreciate you very much. And we'll see you next week, kids.